Good day everyone, I am Blessy Bondok from BPED 2D and this is my activity 1 in Unit 6. In this video, I'm going to answer the following questions. First question is, what are 4 important goal-setting principles practitioner should keep in mind when assisting an individual who wants to learn a particular skill? How might a practitioner apply each of the principles in assisting a person who is learning how to roller skate? So the 4 important goal-setting principles practitioner should keep in mind when assisting an individual who wants to learn a particular skill are challenging, attainable, realistic, and specific. A practitioner who is assisting a person who is learning how to roller skate can apply each of these principles, like when the individual set outcome goals that involve comparison with other people's performance. And because goals meet this criteria, gives participants an achievable target to shoot for. They serve to increase the quality of learning experience, and that is challenging. Next is attainable, when practitioners encourage their learners to set goals or destinations so that they can identify the specific skills and behaviors the learner want to achieve, and that the practitioner will have a reference for assisting the learner's progress, and this is attainable. And for the realistic, when the practitioner encouraging their learners to follow sound goal-setting principles in determining their outcome goals, performance goals, and process goals, practitioners should be able to get a clear picture of their learner's intended destination. The practitioner can assist the learner in identifying the target skills and target behavior that need to be developed in order to achieve the desired goals and produce effective movement in target context. And for the last, the specific is when the practitioners identified target skills. And once target skills are identified, practitioners must determine the observable behaviors that are associated with successful performance of those skills, like rolling skate. The learners should keep their legs stable so they can balance their body. Next question is, discuss the relationship among target skills, target behaviors, and target context. For the following activities, give an example of a target skill, a target behavior, and target context. In fly fishing, billiards, using a prosthetic hand while eating a baked potato, piloting an airplane, shooting a basketball. Target skill, target behaviors, and target context are the target skills discuss the actual tasks that the individual need to learn, so it will be easy for them to achieve their goals. And the target behavior or the observable behaviors are associated with success for performance of those skills. These are the behaviors and actions that can improve the learner's movement that have a big help for them to be successful in their goals. Lastly is target context, or the environmental context in which the learners are able to produce their target skills. These 3 behaviors are related with each other because these 3 behaviors used by practitioner as a pattern to assist the learners. Practitioners can assist the learner in identifying the target skills and target behaviors that need to be developed in order to achieve the desired goals and produce effective movement in the target context. The example of target skills in playing billiards is when the players set a plan, movement, and focus on their target. And the example of target behavior in using a prosthetic hand while eating a baked potato is the determination of the man will with a prosthetic hand that the man has a lot of patience and full of determination to do this task despite of his condition. And last is target context. A wide place, a clear sky are the ideal and a good environment for a pilot who is piloting an airplane in. And there are kinds of environment that is fit and good for a pilot to be able for them to produce their skill properly and to execute their skill properly. Next question is, sometimes the past movement experience a person brings to a learning situation can help the individual pick up the new skills more quickly. Discuss 3 categories of elements that might be shared by 2 motor skills and then give an example of each type of elements that might be similar for one of the following pairs of skills, like whitewater canoeing and skiing, operating an automobile and operating a speedboat, wheelchair basketball, and wheelchair floor hockey. So the 3 elements that might be shared by 2 motor skills are movement elements, conceptual elements, and perceptual elements. Movement elements deal with the movement patterns of various actions. For example, is throwing dart and javelin throws. These 2 sports involve movement patterns that are similar, like arm movements in throwing. These 2 sports are almost the same. Next is perceptual elements. Perceptual elements are task-related stimuli that individual must be able to interpret in order to assure successful performance. My example for these are taekwondo and karate. These 2 martial arts have many similarities and most notable in their emphasis of developing a good character alongside the practice of the different fighting techniques. The 2 differ mainly on movement. In the karate, use mainly the hands, and the taekwondo use mainly the feet. Last is conceptual elements. Some motor tasks contain similar conceptual elements such as strategies, rules, guidelines, and concepts. Maintaining a narrow focus on the target is an important guideline for individuals who perform activities like threading a needle. And my example for this is ice hockey and field hockey. Next question is, when assessing learners' progress, practitioners should select both outcome and process measures that are valid indicators for performance. Give an example of valid outcome measure and a valid process measure for one of the following activities, like hang gliding, bocce rappelling, operating a lat, reading braille, playing the flute, shuffling a deck of playing cards. When the practitioner assessing learners' progress, practitioners should select both outcome and process measure. These are valid indicator of performance. Practitioner use valid indicator of performance when assessing learners' progress. These are valid outcome measure and valid process measure. In hang gliding, the valid process measure here is when they measure how high the hang glider learner will jump and follow the rule that never leave lip between thermals and get their head down level with their shoulders and their feet up towards the knee to reduce the drag. They stay absolutely still and not move their body around. They try not to tense up or stop your toes into the bottom of harness when gliding. And the valid outcome here is when the practitioner measure the outcome in hang gliding. They measure where might be the learners will landing and how far they can fly. That's all. Thank you.